Right, push it up.
It's Thursday, it's 8 o'clock, and it's the Big Detecting Show. Good evening, Adrian. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks, Dave. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for that little snippet of Bodger and Badger.
Of what? Of what? Oh, I didn't see
sorry.
that.
Yeah.
See? Oh, how did that get on there?
I don't know, but bless him, the man who did that's passed away, isn't he? So, and he was...
Steve Shorters?
No.
Steve Shorters made that?
No, not the man who Bodgers... Badgers, the man, he's passed away.
Bodger, is that a euphemism?
Yeah.
We're a bit early in the show for that malarkey.
He was a puppeteer on Return of the Jedi.
All right.
Google it. Not that I've got much time in my life to do stuff.
Hi, Adrian. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks, mate. Back in England.
Did you have a nice holiday?
Yeah, lovely, thank you. And yeah, great to be back. Yeah, so it was good.
Did you drink any red wine while you were away?
I might have had a bit. It was good that I got interwebs nets out there. It's like 2,500 miles from home, and it seemed to work. It's a bit pixelated, wasn't it? But no, it was nice. And it was good to come on the show and have a laugh. And I missed last week's because I was flying home, but that was good when it was Spinks.
Wow, what a show!
That was a good show. If you
not just the show. What about the follow up to the show? The auction the next day.
Yeah, a lot of money. How much?
The Ellaby Hoard, I think it was £734,000.
Yeah, amazing.
Not one coin went for less than 1,000. I was watching it throughout the afternoon, shocked.
Oh, I was at work. You probably were, but yeah.
No, I wasn't. No, I finished at 1.
Oh, weren't you? Oh, I couldn't watch it at work. Get in trouble.
Hey, look at this as well. Check this out. I found before. We've got background music if we want to, so we can have a bit of background music while we chat.
Like supermarket.
I put the dance one on for Mark Becker, so it'd be like raving.
Oh yeah.
You get his smoke machines and his lasers out.
Might get Mark to talk about his TikTok channel tonight. It's good, that is. My son, loves it. That's a bit. It's like a crazy supermarket. Presto or Budgeons. Yeah. Anyway, you're right, mate.
Yes, I'm marvellous. Busy
And
at
you got
work.
a van. Got a van.
Van
You're a man
life.
with a van.
Van life. Can't do it. Thing. Thanks for doing that for me. Did the video. It just makes it look like Shane Staffordshire Search is actually just doing everything. And in effect, he probably was as well.
So it looks like he's your boy, and you're gonna.
He is my boy.
And you're gonna. He's yeah. Is it you gonna? Is it you got a bunk bed in it or just a double?
It just.
I
couldn't possibly. No, it was. I bought a 3/4 bed for a tenner off Marketplace, and I had to go down from 4 foot to 3'3", but plenty of room in it. Plenty of room. Boys trying to sleep in there already. I'm like, it's not happening yet, mate. I've got to do it first. Yeah, Dad can sleep in your van. Like, no, I'm christening it. Oh. Anyway, we Twitter on when we've got people waiting in the rings.
Yes.
Shall we bring on them lovely two, Mr. Turrell and Mr. Becher? Oh,
right,
Pete's here. Oh, there he is.
Oh, Mark's there with his new logo.
And his drum and bass area.
And he's happy, apparently.
Happy raving.
I've been told to go away to the studio so she can watch EastEnders and other crap.
Studio? You mean the shed?
No, it looks nice in there, Mark.
This is my musicy hole.
This is where we're talking TikTok a little bit later.
No.
Apparently, yeah. So Adrian says.
I left you a comment, didn't I, when I was on holiday? We were playing your channel, Mark, TikTok, on holiday round the pool late at night. It's cool. Really good, mate. Banging.
I might actually have to go back inside, because the internet there isn't wonderful.
No. It looks like you're on dial-up.
You guys are saying, I'm going to go inside the server EastEnders.
How can he do TikTok in there, but he can't
bear with me 1 second.
He's got to run. Run, Mark. Run like
He's got trousers on.
What's he doing now?
Anyway, whilst he's gone, are you all right, Pete?
I'm very well. How are you, Adrian?
I'm good, thanks very much. Oh, look, there he goes.
Yeah,
and Pete's got his balls behind him in a jar, which we were talking about before the show, weren't we, Dave? Gobstoppers.
Yeah,
loves gobstoppers. Yeah, really. Yeah. And Pete's drinking Coke, and Dave's drinking
Poverty Coke.
Poverty Coke.
Virgin Coke. No, he's probably drinking something like
lemonade.
Not what you were drinking at all.
San Pellegrino. Oh, no, I've got my Pepsi Max as well. What's his shock face for?
Why? That's very posh drink to have for you.
I'm very posh,
it's not
mate.
cheap.
Very posh.
You are. There's a lot of people talking about the Manticore in the chat, or a few people talking about the Manticore. Tony Kaywood loves the video for it, and Ishman. As to the price Manticore, get 30/30 or spare knock. Sorry. Okay, yeah, that's going to be interesting though, because that's going to be out soon, isn't it, Pete? The Manticore, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully towards the end of next month. Well, they've said end of November, December sort of time. So.
Yeah. I think they want to get it under the tree, don't they? So, but it's a lot of money.
Yeah, the first batch is going to be limited, though. So, yeah, I don't think there's going to be a huge amount in the country before Christmas, and we'll see more next year. But it looks good machine. When I've had a play with it at Detectival and down at the Joan Allen event, it looks good.
Yeah, and LP are obviously going to be stocking it as well.
Yeah, as long as we're allowed some, we'll get some.
You've got a sign up, haven't you, Pete, on your website or something?
Yeah, so we don't do pre-orders. We learnt that from Equinox launch, that we got lynched when MindLab sent us 3 in the first batch. So we decided we don't do pre-orders anymore. But if you go on the website, you can have a stock notification email or text, and then it would just be a case, however many we get, we'll put online and you can buy it. So yeah, seems the most sane way of doing it for me and my team. Save some ear.
Yeah, you end up with people kicking off otherwise, don't you? So
yeah.
Oh, Mark's back now. Are you looking forward to the Manticore, Mark?
Yeah, I had a little go at Detectival and checked it out. It was it was reasonably impressive.
Cool. I
Yeah.
don't think they're going to be using that on the marketing, Mark.
You should write. You should be like the godfather of slogans. Boom, boom.
I'm kind of one of these people that thinks it's not what you got, it's how you use it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
that's me well and truly arsehole.
Yeah, Dave, you can't use it.
Metal detectors, Dave.
Probably in 2039, Dave, you might be able to get hold of one cheap and use it or something. But
I'll be well pushing up daisies by then.
The thing I was surprised with was the weight of it. It's slightly lighter than the Equinox, but it feels a lot lighter. Did you think that, Pete?
Yeah, it's really well balanced. Yeah, it feels good. Really, really good.
We'll see. But it's a lot of money. 1,700, potentially $8. Well, it depends on the pound, doesn't it? And all that.
In a minute, it's going to be 1,799 as long as the pound doesn't go.
You know, you're going to get those people that love it and those people that hate it straight away. So
inevitably, well, it's already getting its naysayers. Not some people who haven't really got a clue. You know, they're just making assumptions straight away. But you see what's on the tin. Anyway, we digress because you know we lately that's something that's come in. We've had the Legend out, Pete, and that's been doing really well. It's Adrian uses it, gives it some fantastic feedback. How's it doing on your perspective?
Yeah, really well, and growing as well. I think the 109 update has completely changed the product, the sales, just everything about it. It performs exceptionally well, especially for the price, but not just at that price point. It just performs exceptionally well. I think some people, I was going to say confused, but it's not a case of confusion. I think the price point it's at, it's being pitched against the wrong machine, really, because it's better than the price point. I think it sounds ridiculous, but I think we'd sell more if it was more expensive.
Really?
Yeah, you probably, yeah. Can be a big marketing problem if it's too cheap. People don't think it's that good, do they? And they're just launching a cheaper version, aren't they now?
So I mean, a lot of it's to do with the currency rate. So prices have gone up recently because the pound has been doing silly things. And a way of combating that is some people don't use headphones or want to use their own because it's Bluetooth. As long as they've got some low latency Bluetooth headphones, they could just tune in with the Legend. So there'd be a without headphones option. We're just waiting for our shipment to come into the country, but that'll bring the price back down to a lower level than it was previous to the price increase. Another option for people.
So, Mark, have you used the Legend?
Yeah, I've had a little go.
Mark is a legend.
Yeah, that's why I think it's named after him, actually. What? Is that Karen?
Yeah.
I'll
away over there. It's coming up to Halloween, isn't it?
Oh, I'll stop flirting now. She's in the room. What were your thoughts, Mark, of it?
I loved it. As Pete said, for the price of it, it's a beast.
Yeah.
The Manticore's a beast.
Yeah. The Manticore is apparently a beast, but for the price tag, it's got to be one hell of a
fudging
monster. I'm telling you.
Yeah. No, have you been out much with it, Mark, or just a few hours?
I've had about 3 or 4 goes with it.
Yeah.
I mean, probably a total of about 8 hours. But
Well,
I was impressed.
The clock on. I'm going to check when I come round.
I'll hide it. No, it's been about 8 hours, and I have been very impressed with it. I mean, compared to the Manticore. I mean, I had half an hour with that in the test bed, Detectival, and that we're talking to the engineers, and but I mean, having had a go with the Legend, love it. Legend. Sorry, I keep calling it Legend for some strange reason.
Yeah. It's an interesting name because when it came out, I didn't really like it. But then at the end of the day, Reuters used Comic Sans font on the Auto 71, which is just as bad. So I had people who refused to buy it because of that, I think. But going back to Detectival, Mark, it weren't too bad, the weather this year, was it? It was a bit rainy at times.
Oh,
Friday was fun. Friday was vividly rain.
yeah, these things happen. We are not in control of the weather. It just turned. It'd been wet. I've been up there since the Tuesday before kickoff, and it must have rained for about 3 hours a day every day. But it was nowhere near as bad as it was on Friday when it was slightly biblical.
It was a little bit. And it was all a bit peculiar on Friday because obviously Queen Elizabeth had passed away the night before. And obviously I got there Friday morning and everything was like, it's all a bit weird now. What do we actually do? It was like, really, Spring Detectival last year, post-COVID, when everybody didn't have a clue what to do. We come to Detectival and nobody had a clue what to do.
Yeah, it did get a bit like that. I mean, the estate we were on this year have some royal connections, so they were a bit edgy, to say the very least. And it was close. I mean, we managed to talk them round by agreeing to cancel the live music, the bands and everything. But otherwise, they were heading down the road of maybe you should cancel it because there's lots of other events being cancelled. And we were like, that really can't happen now. We've just had 300-400 people show up already.
Yeah.
And to actually turn around and say, really sorry, guys, you can all bugger off home now, wouldn't have gone down too well, I don't think.
No. It was a bit weird. I think, like Dave said, it was a bit like Spring Detectival, apart from the weather. But
a complete contrast.
Yeah.
It was actually really weird being on site, and Mark can vouch for this, because we were on site. We didn't see any of it happening on TV or anything. We just heard it had happened, and it felt like we were like not in the loop. It was odd.
It was like, what? The Queen's died? When?
Yeah.
Really strange. Of course. Yeah. But I think, like, Karen said something nice, didn't she, before the beginning of each? Like, she said a nice speech. So it wasn't missed. But if it had been cancelled, it would have been an absolute nightmare. And at the end of the day, I reckon the Queen, I knew her well, I reckon she would have liked to let it go on because she used to like detecting a lot anyway. So she would have liked it to have carried on.
This is what we heard. That she would have been very upset if we'd have had to postpone or cancel or whatever the event. So yeah, it was. We were really thankful that we managed to come to a compromise with the estate and they were happy. So I mean, yes, it did mean cancelling the bands who weren't too happy, and some of the attendees weren't too happy about it either. But we found some middle ground and managed to get through the weekend. So that was really handy. I wish she'd have held off till Monday. It would have made my life a whole lot easier. But
Why aren't you Richard Lincoln doing karaoke on Saturday night? It was quite interesting, Dave, wasn't it? Did you see it? Or
we were actually together on Saturday night. We heard it and we knew who it was.
Yeah, I was with you.
Yeah, you were at the van with me.
Yeah,
and we were like, "That's Richard Lincoln." That.
Yeah, I thought karaoke went down really well. It was a brilliant idea. People actually got involved, which was really nice.
Yeah.
Do you know, I was going to come on in because I'm like a karaoke master. I was going to come on, but I couldn't really be asked. I was that knackered.
You're a karaoke master. You'll have to.
I am the master of karaoke. I am the Lord.
Bust out some lyrics for us.
In fact, I am the godfather of karaoke.
Is that self-proclaimed, though?
Sorry?
Is that self-proclaimed?
Oh, no. I've won loads of competitions in my time. You'd be quite surprised. The fat man can wail.
Trophies didn't happen, Dave. Trophies.
I'm not like Deco fat in the commitments. I'm not that good, but I am fat. I'm not.
Bust the blood vessel.
Yeah, bust the blood vessel.
Yeah,
but again, Roy Lipo fatty.
Not Buster Rhymes, then.
More Roy Orbison.
Buster King.
Anyway, I've got a short video that Mark sent over a load of images from the event. So just to introduce the event a little bit more, show people what was found, I'm going to play the video. So I will see you in 2 minutes or so. You see, absolutely fantastic images, but I made the mistake of putting them into a video and then sending it to me Facebook, and the quality's gone all not as good as it was.
Didn't put my Bronze Age axe head in there.
That's because Mark sent to me this afternoon, and I made the video while I was having a poo when I got home from work.
Correctly. Oh, like you do.
But stunning finds. I mean, the first one of consequence I saw was when Adrian went for a little wander and come back with a Bronze Age axe head part of himself. And, from then on, everything that I saw was, some great things coming up.
Yeah, that was just a very small snippet. I mean, I haven't even seen all the finds and the treasure finds and everything that the on-site finds recording team, which were Suffolk HER, recorded. I've just seen most of the stuff that went through Bill for export and a few other random bits. But there was a scattered hoard of silica, a good number of gold hammers, a good few full gold staters, quarter staters, Denari, lots of hammers from Saxon right through, loads of Milds. It was a pretty good weekend for finds, really.
Why? It was very nice of them to come and record the finds, Mark. It was really good. Why wasn't there a finds cabinet? Was it someone forgot to bring it?
Basically, I said because they didn't come out the kindness of their art. The Suffolk HER charged us about $2,000 to come, plus the VAT, to come for the weekend. So it wasn't out the kindness of their heart, unfortunately. And they were instructed to bring some finds display cabinets, which they forgot.
Okay, yeah, I did wonder that. I think I remember you telling me, which is a bit of a shame, isn't it?
For $2,000 plus the VAT, you'd think they'd remember the effing finds bloody cabinets, but no, they forgot them.
Oh dear.
We'll see them on Facebook at some point.
Yeah. They'll all pop up as soon as I get images of all the stuff that they recorded, the treasure finds and everything, which for that much money I am expecting reasonably soon. I'll get stuff to the Facebook page.
Do you know how much treasure was recorded?
For my initial discussions with them, they took in, I think, 18 treasure finds.
Wow.
Yeah.
And total fines, did they say, or?
Well, they recorded over 200, and they were turning everything away from Queen Elizabeth upwards. No, Henry VIII upwards. They refused to record anything from the 1500s upwards.
Yeah, I heard that, which is sad, really, isn't it?
Very sad, but it's the way that Suffolk HER do it. So there's obviously a very large number of hammers that we didn't get to see.
Yeah, never mind.
Which is sad, but
apart from that, it went really well.
Yeah.
The lovely Mrs. Becker has just sent me some more finds. Can you see that all right?
Yeah.
Nice little ring there. Whoa, what are you doing now?
Yeah, what's that?
Is that it? There you are.
Fibula, nice.
It was a good event for finds. And it's quite difficult at an event the size of Detectival for people to grasp what's coming up. Because unless you're there whilst people are bringing it in for that split second whilst they're showing everyone, you kind of miss it.
Yeah,
these thousands of people on Facebook, so it can be quite tricky sometimes.
You still get them scamps who don't declare stuff as well, don't you?
Scamps, love that word.
Yeah, little monkeys.
Plenty of them, man.
Yeah, there were. But no, I think it was good, and I only heard a couple of very negative people. And when
There's always negative people. You can please some of the people some of the time. You can't please all the people all the time.
No, and there was some high swinging coils as well. I mean, where I found that Bronze Age axe head was up near was it Temple, the monument or something? Yeah, and there was about 12 people from Poland or somewhere all over it, and they were one of the first to get there, and they went And I thought, I'll just go up there and have a look at the view, and got a lovely banging signal. And there were footprints all over it. And a Bronze Age axe head, you know when you're finding that, because it blows your ears off. And I think they're too busy smoking their fags and chatting than detecting. They were steaming it like a military operation. They were like flying across the fields. And I just thought, patience, low and slow. And they were just absolutely gunning it. But it was lovely views as well. Really, really nice. And obviously there's a lot of traders there, Mark, weren't there, this year?
Yeah, it was a really good turnout on the traders front. So yeah, we were well happy with that.
And you had Sport in Mind. Tell us a bit more about them.
Mental health charity. You should get Laura, who she's a detectorist. When did she bump into you? Last year before? Yeah, last year or the year before, she spoke to Karen about us supporting their charity, and we got round to it this year. And she does some really good things for people with mental health. So as we all suffer, we're all mental, and from time to time anyway, and we can all do with a little bit of assistance on that front, I think. And what they do, getting people out, sports, and she's on about including metal detecting into the whole thing, because it's a wonderful thing for mental health. So we were like, yeah, we'd support you.
So are you at liberty to say how much you actually raised for them at this point?
11,430.
Plus another 1,000 for the parishes.
Plus another 1,000 we agreed with the estate to donate to 4 parishes.
Fantastic.
Wow. That's not bad going for a couple
round
of
of
days.
applause in the chat room, please. Round of applause.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, no, we were quite chuffed
Awesome,
with that.
mate.
The charity were well happy with it. So, I mean, it'll make a difference to a good few people, fingers crossed.
Yeah, well done. Well done, you and Karen, Mark. Brilliant. But there's going to be some changes to next year's Detectival. One here's.
Yeah. There is some changes coming up after. Shall I tell them, Pete? Shall I go for it? So yeah, after 7 years of us doing Detectival now, Pete is now going to take over the running and the reins of Detectival. So your man's got some plans.
Lots of plans, Mark. Whether any of them will happen, as I've said to the guys in the office, it might just be me stood in a field because we forgot to book the toilets, the people, the traders, the caterers. But we're excited to do it. And you say it's me. It's certainly not just going to be me, because that is what would happen if it was just me organising. Hopefully, it's going to be a really good event next year. And for us, we're excited. We can see the potential with Detectival. Mark and Karen have done a great job over the last, do you say 7 years? Doesn't feel like
it's about 7 years now, mate. Yeah.
Because it started off with the XP Gold Rally, didn't it? Way back when. Yeah. And then moved on from there. So it's just a case of building on what Mark and Karen have already put into it, and hopefully taking it on to an exciting level, really. Fingers crossed, really.
Well, if anybody's capable to do that, I definitely think you are, mate, and that makes us very happy anyway.
Well, we'll see. we'll have a debrief next year and see what happened. But
we'll have you on the show after an event then.
Well, we'll see how it goes first. Or at least turn the tap off. But no, we're excited for it. We can really see some potential and some things that we can tweak and bring into it. I suppose the difference is where Mark and Karen, to maybe the way I look at it, is Mark and Karen are dig organisers. So they're really good at what they do with metal detectives, what they've done with Detectival, which is all based around the detecting. I think because at Detectival, I spend all of my time in the arena, I don't think I'll step foot on the fields this year at all. So I see a lot of what's going on and how people are interacting with what's happening beyond the detecting, I guess. So we're playing lots of stuff around the arena. Obviously, the detecting is still key to it. And I'm sure Mark will explain a little bit on this, but we've already got a couple of great sites lined up for next year already. So we'll have a spring and the main Detectival again next year. But yeah, we're just looking to push it on really and carry on what Mark and Karen have done with a few extra bits and pieces added on, hopefully.
So we're looking at 2 Detectivals, spring and around the same time as normal in September.
Yeah.
And obviously, you're not going to reveal, wouldn't even ask you to reveal the locations, but I take it the sites that you've got planned, historical wise, are as good as everything previously.
Well, I would say, Dave, because, and I've always said this to Mark, and I understand all the work that goes on behind the scenes to make these things happen. And I'll put the caveat in there now. Whatever we're going to say about the history of the fields, we can't guarantee it's all in the ground, but we're trying to find the right area with some good stuff in there. But until people are out there with the detectors, we don't know what's in there. Otherwise, we would have detected it already and found it. So
yeah,
that's the caveat. I'll let you go now, Mark.
Right, so yeah, as you said, two Detectivals next year. The sites have already been arranged. We've taken Peter down there. He's had a look around, so he knows exactly what's going on. The spring one is in Oxfordshire, very short distance away from the M40. One of our estate owners a few years ago bought another estate, which is in a fantastic area. It's got the Icknield Way running pretty much straight through it, surrounded by absolutely stunning countryside. The house that they've bought, I think, dates to about the 15th century and has had various royals and other wonderful people visiting the estate, hunting in the parkland around the house. We've managed to secure, I think it's about 380 acres of arable that will be going into spring crops. So all the ground should be cultivated or rolled and seeded by the time we visit. We've got about another 100 acres ish of pasture, and then there's probably 30 acres of parkland up towards the house that we've been given permission to detect as well. It used to be part of the old deer park. We've done other detecting with the metal detectives in and around that area, and we know it's pretty good. And a very short distance away, someone found, I can't tell you what hoard it is because it will give it away, but a couple of fields away from this new estate was found a very significant hoard a number of years ago now. And I think it was valued at several million. That wasn't far off of the Icknield Way, which, as I said, runs right through the arse end of the estate. So we've got fields either side of it.
Wow. Will it? Sorry, Mark. That sounds great. Pete, Mark, will it still be the same Friday, sort of midday till Sunday?
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah.
And the same sort of price?
No. Pete. This is
No.
Pete we're talking about here. Come on, mate.
So Mark eats steak all year. We're happy on beans on toast. So, I mean, that's the first thing we want to do. We want to make Detectival as accessible to as many people as possible. Now, I appreciate to some people, the ticket price I'm about to say is still a lot of money to some people, and I get that, but there is a limit as to how low we can go. So we're currently planning the ticket price to be £65 for the weekend, with a couple of camping options. And we've got a couple of camping options for a reason. So with campers motorhomes, there's a little bit more work in terms of hiring track mats in case it's wet, all that sort of stuff. So that'll be 15 quid for the weekend. So 3 nights camping, 15 quid, so £5 a night. But if you're happy to just sleep in a tent, it'll be a £5 for the weekend. You can pitch your tent up. So if you're happy to sleep in a tent, it'll be £70 for the weekend per person.
On behalf of Karen, how much would it be if I sleep in my car?
You know what? She said that's Pete's problem now.
90 quid.
Well, we're in the process of because we need to bring the website onto our end now. So we've been rewriting the website for the last couple of weeks, and I've been working on the FAQs, and that's actually one of the FAQs. If I sleep in my car, because I know it comes up every year. If I sleep in my car, do I have to pay for camping? Yes, you do, just to cover that off. You're still using the toilets and stuff and making use of the entertainment. So yeah, so £65. Like I say, I appreciate £65 is still a lot of money to a lot of people, but there is a limit for what we plan to put on in terms of entertainment in the arena on Saturday evening in particular. Yeah.
Will there still be a raffle and stuff?
I haven't quite worked out the detail. I'd like there to be, but with the raffle, there's two parts to this. The raffle happens because the traders that arrive put a lot of prizes into the raffle. But I want Detectival to be a real celebration of the hobby. And with that, as well as I want all the detectorists there, I want all of the traders there. So it's great that I'm there, Crawford's there, Regton are there, but I want everyone there. And I will just cover this now because some people will think, oh, it's Pete from LP, it's going to be LP Detectival, LP's going to be everywhere. This will not be LP branded. So yes, I own it, I own LP, but they are two separate things. So Detectival will never have LP.
Detectival's a place in Alaska.
So it will never be LP branded. And the other part of that is we will never have a headline sponsor either. So it won't be manufacturer branded in any way. I want every manufacturer, every dealer to have an equal go at it, if you like. So if anyone's friendly, I obviously know all the other dealers, but if anyone wants to try and convince your local dealer that they need to be there, no matter how big or small they are, then they're certainly welcome. So back to your raffle point, I want as many dealers to be there as possible. I don't want cost to be a prohibitive factor of that. So I don't want them to think, oh, I've got to give £1,000 worth of raffle prizes away, so I can't come. I don't want that to be. So it's something that we're going to work on and speak to the dealers and see where they're at, really. But it's certainly something I'd like to happen. But it's just finding that balance between getting everyone there and it not being too expensive for them.
And you mentioned to me as well that you are wanting to bring some of the smaller organisations there as well. Give people access to the likes, top of my head, Spinner Disc, Pepsi,
Yep.
Max, Shirley, Pyros,
Yeah.
Whoever
etc.
it is, I just want anyone that's involved in this hobby, whether they're selling coil covers that are 3D printed in their shed at the weekend or a distributor for Minelab, I want everyone there that's involved with the hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And we're certainly, it's difficult because I don't know how many people are going to turn up. We're not doing this to get rich, essentially. I had a big long chat with Mark and Karen prior to us doing this and taking it on, and it's going to be a lot of work, but it's not a lot of work so I can put a new west wing on the house, you know. We're doing this because I want Detectival to stay. There's a lot of rallies, we know that, and they're all great in their own way, but I think there's a real space that second weekend in September for the whole hobby just to get together as cheap as I can make it to allow as many people to come as possible, get everyone there in the hobby for one really good weekend of fun detecting, have a good laugh and a chat. And we'll see. Like I say, next year I might be sat here going, yeah, I'm never doing that again, but we'll see what happens.
Well, there's a lot of positive chat, a lot of positive comments in the chat. Rob Random's put the original tagline of Detectival was bringing the world of metal detecting together, which is right. That's what you want to do, Pete, isn't it?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And it is a worldwide event. We get attendees from all around the world. And hopefully that is something that I can bring to it, because I know a lot of the dealers in different countries through my time on the LP side. So hopefully we can get more of that together and make it a really good international event. And fingers crossed, it'll work.
Yeah, sounds
So-
exciting.
For Spring Detectival, I think you said there's around 500 acres, Mark.
Yeah.
How many people would you look to be able to access that event?
Well, normally we work on, we have in the past, and I think Pete's going to do the same thing at around an acre a minimum of half an acre a person, maximum an acre a person. So we tried to work somewhere between that ratio.
Mm-hmm.
I think Pete's on
That's
about.
what is like. It would be about that though. I mean, we've gone and looked at the site. The key thing for these big events is really where you go camp everyone, where you go park everyone, what's the access like. And for both of these events, actually, it's superb for both, especially the September one. I'm really looking forward to that arena.
Stunning.
That'll be ace. But yeah, a lot of it counts on that. But there's enough land there for everyone.
Yeah,
More than
fantastic.
enough. There's loads of it.
Yeah, it's going to be very good, very, very good. I'm looking forward to it, definitely. And hopefully this year, Dave, I won't have to sleep in your van in the front.
No, you can't because my van will have a front.
Oh, yeah. I'll snuggle up with you in a double sleeping bag. That'd be lovely. No, I think I might have my own tent this year after waking everyone up last year, unfortunately, at 2 a.m. because I needed a wee. But and your security team, Mark, were very good and nearly killed me because they thought I was trying to steal Dave's fan. They were right on it, weren't they, Dave? Well, you didn't.
I was asleep.
Yeah,
I'd had a mitrazapine and a bloody Zopiclo, and I was way out of it.
Yeah, I'd had 2 cans of beer, I think. But no, it's good though. It's nice to hear, and there's a lot of good comments in the chat, and everyone's saying, like you said, Pete, 65 quid is a lot of money to some people, but it's come down, and hopefully, if you find a couple of hammers or gold coin, you've paid for it, haven't you? At the end of the day.
My idea is, Adrian, that do you know what? Even if you go out in the fields for the weekend, and you come back and you found a few shotgun shells and a couple of buttons, I'm hoping that you go away still with the mindset you've had a really good weekend, whether that's catching up with friends, whether that's the entertainment that's happening around the arena, not just in the evening, but all weekend. I'm hoping that you'll think your 65 quid's been well spent, whether you go away with a pocket full of gold or not.
If you look at it in another sense, Pete, most dig organisers, I think, that I've been privy to, charge £20 a day. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, £20 a day, and you get a £5 for the toilets and all the entertainment. Mint.
Yeah, and the entertainment isn't cheap, is it, Pete and Mark? It's a lot of, and then you've got your insurance, you've got your risk assessment.
Mark, as you're obviously not going to be organised, I mean that Adrian's going to. What are you doing now? Does that mean you're going to be doing your own set?
Yes,
that'll be up.
You got free time, haven't you? So do a bit of a.
He's like, oh God, no.
We want everyone to come back the year after. That's the problem.
That's how if I start singing, that would scare everybody away. But my DJing's all right.
Well, at the minute, I'm trying to do a cost sheet so we can get all the boring stuff out of the way, like the toilets, the road maps, the everything that you start thinking of to run one of these events, so we know how much money we got left over to spend on the fun stuff, because that's what I'm interested in.
Well, what we've got to do is you need to come round next week for that curry. Karen's got, I think she's told you, she's got spreadsheets with all of this stuff. She's like Mrs. Super Organised. It's fucking annoying sometimes. Oh, flipping annoying sometimes. So you could save yourself so much time by just stealing all her spreadsheets. Trust me.
Do you live far from each other? I know you've moved, Pete.
An hour and a half away, I guess.
Yeah, it's about the right sort of distance.
I thought you were in the same house.
Yeah, just in different rooms.
I could have heard a bit of drum and bass when Pete first come on. I thought you were in the kitchen. But no, I think still the same sort of amount of people, you thinking, Pete?
I would hope more is what we'll hope for. I mean, that's how we bring the ticket price down. If we can get more people there at 65 quid, then essentially we take the same amount of money, but it's cheaper for everyone. So that's the plan.
That's good. That's good. That's and I'm just thinking, how many were at this year's Detectival?
About 1,000.
Yeah. Just like, with all the guests and the traders and everything like that, there was about 1,000 detectorists, and then you had all the guests and the traders, and yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
the staff. That's who I was thinking of. I couldn't think then. The guests, the traders, and who else was there? Oh, yeah. All the other amazing people that helped make it happen. How could I forget them?
Yeah, no, it was good. It was a nice weekend, and even though it was a bit wet.
It was weird for us the Saturday night because normally I'd be involved in all the action and all the grooving and dancing and pineapple rum and such like. But I actually sat at the van with him and just chatted shit for about 3 hours, and it was delightful, to be fair. Just chilling, background music from the tent, knew where everybody was, what they were doing, just chilled out.
It was nice, yeah.
And the weather was nice at the time.
Yeah, well, once Friday was out the way, it wasn't too bad, was it? There was a couple of little showers, but on the whole, it was bearable. I mean,
and I especially enjoyed, and I can't thank you enough for organising the air display as well. That was fantastic. I appreciate
you like that, did you? Yeah, there was a quiet word in Duxford's here. And the next thing you know, we had Spitfires, about 15 of them, I think it was, Lancasters, and they were at Mustang. Everything was flying in and around there over the weekend. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to be coming that way. They were just dead nosy.
Yeah. What's all that over there?
Making all that noise, flying panes. It should have been cancelled.
I know. I'm surprised they didn't actually cancel Duxford, but thank fudge they didn't.
It'll be good next year, especially if there's some new machines coming out, because most people launch them at Detectival as well, won't they? So if it's bigger and better, and there's new machines being launched, there's even more of a reason to go. I'm not saying there will be one, but there probably will be, won't there? Someone's bound to bring one out. The way they're coming out at the moment is crazy. So
they've got till next September anyway, and whether Pete lets someone launch a detector there, it's
yeah, but this is the other thing about us not having a headline sponsor, Mark, is that I think that's part of the battle. I think if you've got a headline sponsor, it kind of limits what other people may be able to do.
You might get multiple machines launched.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Why not all make sure you leave it until Detectival? That's the key thing.
Can I just say, Mark, this is the first time you've ever been on the show and the dogs haven't been on with you.
Oh, they're here. Trust me. There's one there, and the other one's over there.
Very quiet. Is Karen ironing?
No, Karen is not ironing. Karen is laptoping over there.
Hi, Car.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like that on the show. Last time you come on, she was ironing in the background. Bless her.
Yeah, we've never heard that there.
No.
So that's basically Detectival. We're looking at April, spring Detectival.
1st and the 2nd of April.
Yeah,
brilliant, and that'll be in Oxfordshire. The main Detectival second week. That's Detectival date.
9th and 10th of September, is it?
I can't remember now. It's the second weekend.
Second weekend. I think hang on, where are we? Let's just. I think it's the 9th and 10th of September. 9th and 10th of September, 2023.
And what is the county of that origin?
Gloucestershire.
Gloucestershire. I like that. I like
Gloucestershire. It's in
it be black and hairy and I bees phrase that.
And it's in because I haven't told you about this one yet. It's
no, you haven't.
The location where Pete is holding the Detectival is it's like nestled in between these 4 medieval villages, right on a Roman road. It absolutely looks amazing. But as Pete said, basically, can't guarantee there's stuff out there, but the location and everything that's going on around that location and on the land as well looks absolutely bloody awesome.
No, looking forward to them already. In fact, I've got my oldies booked for next year already now. Just written down.
One thing, will there be somewhere people can sign up to be alerted when tickets are available?
No, because we're still building the website. So
no, in the future, in the January, February.
Yeah, so we're planning. I haven't told Ash, who I think's watching this, who's actually sorting the website out. I'm hoping that at the start of November we can start selling tickets if everything goes to plan. There's quite a lot behind the scenes to try make work for that to happen. But we're hoping beginning of November, tickets will go on sale for both events at the same time.
Wow.
So be able to book yourself on. So if you're struggling to know what to buy your grandparents or your parents for Christmas, there you go. There's a perfect option there.
Great Christmas present. Detectival double. There you go, Dad. Or there you go, Grandad. You're off to both Detectivals next year. Merry Christmas.
I haven't told Mum and she's going to annihilate you.
Yeah, that's a good call, actually, selling them November just before Christmas. Yeah, good call. I'd be happy with that. Wouldn't you, Dave?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Can't wait for them. Anything else Detectival-wise that you would like to tell us about before we move on to something other?
Don't think so. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think we covered it. What anything else we need to say about Detectival?
I can't see the chat, so I don't know if there's any questions.
Are there any questions that you think they could answer? Because
actually, the other thing.
Ash has just said Detectival will be the same. E-tickets, print off or add to Apple Wallet, etc., etc.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Yeah, because that worked brilliantly at RCM, didn't it?
No.
Yeah.
Shit, it didn't work at all.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It did. Panicking, Dave, on the day. But,
so if you do have any questions about Detectival Spring, and don't forget, there's only so much that Mark and Pete can reveal at this point. But if you've got any questions, I'll ask on your behalf.
And feedback, Dave. If people have been to Detectival before and found something that they really love or really think that there could have been more of, now's the time to tell us before we arrange it and we don't do those things that people want to do, because we do want this to be as great as it can be for everyone. So obviously there's some limits as to what we can do for people, but if it's within our remit, then we'll do our best.
Is there detecting on Fridays? No.
There's a couple
Saturday,
of reasons.
Sunday.
Yeah, it's Saturday, Sunday detecting. Just to cover the other one, we've ummed about having day tickets for the Saturday, Sunday. We won't be given that as an option purely based on price. Because if we're charging £65 for a weekend, a day ticket would have to be 40 quid. And with the best will in the world, I cannot charge someone £40 for a day's detecting. So that won't be an option. But come for the weekend or buy a weekend ticket and just come for one day. There's your solution.
Can you have more food van options?
Yeah, what would people like? I'd love a
Kebab.
McDonald's. I'd love a Costa
McDonald's.
and a McDonald's.
Kebab fan. 100%.
I'd tell you what. There was one at RCM last year. They weren't there this year. Totally. I don't mean get this particular one, but they were doing Greek food and the gyros.
This year when I went to Rodney, I ended up being there. Last year it was flipping awesome.
And I know there was reasons why they couldn't be there, but absolutely tremendous. And more or less, that was a kebab as well, Adrian.
Kebab, chips, and salad, and what's the cucumber sauce stuff? Tzatziki. Lovely. Yeah. But a kebab would be good because most people, when they've been drinking, like a kebab, and they're quite quick to serve up. So you get some bloke with a kebab fan. That'd be quite a good one, wouldn't it, Dave?
Stavros.
Yeah, Stavros Flatley. He's opened a load of barbers in Cyprus, barber shops. Yes, gyros already. Pizza's good.
So people just want to be fed. Is that as simple as it is? Just get some food and some fields, and we're done.
Yeah, food,
and
fields,
beer,
alcohol,
and beer. Alcohol. Yeah. I think
food and fields.
What was good this year at Detectival, there was hardly a queue for the beer, which I found either they were really efficient. There was a couple of girls behind the bar and a guy occasionally, but they were really efficient. And I think the worst it was like Saturday night, it's like 4 or 5 people in the queue. They're really quick at turning it around. And considering there was 1,000 people there, it's not bad going, is it? Yeah, the beer. I will say that actually, the beer people at Detectival were very good, very very good.
And they were the same ones at Rodney Cook as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they were. Yeah,
It
Fair
was
play
John,
to 'em.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
John,
John's
yes.
got himself into all sorts of trouble, hasn't he? You'll be seeing him for a bit more bloody rallies soon.
You see what?
You
Sorry.
keep going, "Get up."
Oh, Dirty
Right.
Chip fan.
He tried
Dirty
to
Chip.
sell me his burger van at Detectival this year because he had nothing.
He tried to sell it to you.
Yeah.
Leisure promotion, dirty burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Dirty Burgers are good. Yeah, Dirty Burgers. The arena was pretty empty. Yes, it was, but that's because there was no music. If you'd have come out the back on the campsite, that was proper kicking off, wasn't it, Dave?
Oh, I
Till like
bang
3
it.
or 4 in the morning. Yeah, it was,
That's because
it
you took over my bloody thingy with your Spotify, putting all your dance crap on.
yeah, Mark would have been all right. Yeah, Dave's playing all this like Celine Dion and Whitney Houston, and I
Cher
put a
as
bit
well.
of drum and yeah, I thought I'm not listening to this. 2 men sitting in the back of a van listening to that. God, people will start talking. But yeah. Aaron's put. Will there be things to do during the day for non-detecting people? That's a very good point, actually, because people do take their wives and kids, and they do struggle, don't they?
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. One big thing that we want to make different, I suppose, with Detectival is that to be more accessible for families. So there will be more for kids. So if you do bring your partner, your family with you, and whether the mum or the dad go detecting, and there will be stuff in the arena during the day, not just for kids, but for adults as well. So if you're not detecting or you've come to detect and you had a heavy night and you just want to chill out in the arena, there'll be plenty going on to keep you amused if you're not out
So
in the...
is Steve Newman running a crash?
God forbid.
I think he's doing a massage thing. He's doing a Reiki kind of thing. Yeah. No, it's a good point though. In the day,
Yeah.
Dave,
Yeah,
we
it's
could set up,
something that we've talked about.
Dave, we could set up like children's entertainment, couldn't we?
Oh yeah. We could you could buy Bodger, couldn't you? Or Badger? Buy Badger.
Yeah, or Mr. Tumble, we could be. People say I look like him sometimes.
Don't let them do the calendar, Pete.
Pete, can we do a calendar? Naked detecting calendar.
Yes.
Pete, can we have a naked detecting area?
Just blame Karen for
Pete.
that.
No,
No,
Dave.
big gob over there.
No doubt.
I'll do that, Dave. I could put one together. I'm sure people will pay a $5 for it. And
Yeah,
it
but
could
you
all go
just
to charity.
superimpose people's heads on put me on a dead buff body. That'll look that good.
Well, and I understand, Pete, there is going to be naked detecting 11 o'clock on the Saturday night for an hour.
Well, just in Dave's camp area, I believe.
Allegedly.
He pays.
Well, I found out at our weekender actually, and well, it's quite apt because it was Luke and Laura. It was Laura, I think, when I was talking to her about pineapples and what
Upside down.
Upside. Yeah, there you go. Who knew?
If you're in Tesco's and someone's got a pineapple upside down in their trolley, yeah.
Dave
or a can of
knows.
Lil.
He's got that. I don't know what he's talking about face on, but
Could
Dave knows.
somebody inbox me because I really haven't got a clue.
Can you
We'll
grab
That's
be
me,
there.
Adrian.
Can you grab me an apple sauce?
Yeah, I'll message you.
I'm going to get some pineapple. I like pineapples as well.
Yeah, I do. Not
What do you
upside
mean?
down.
That means you've got to go round looking in people's trolleys to see if they've got an upside down pineapple.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't know. Someone will say it in the chat. Me and Pete know. We're accustomed to it. Well, we're not accustomed to it. Well, we might be. But we're with the kids. We're with the kids. We know where it's at. Yeah. Oh, nice can of apple ties, Mark.
Thank you.
Last time I had a can of that, it was in about 1992. I didn't know they still did it.
Yeah, they do, but they're like, look. I mean, look at the size of that can. It's like
it's the same as that, isn't it? That Sam Panning Jing Dong.
Yeah, exactly.
Happy shoppers is a gold mine for all of those 1993 drinks.
Still in date.
B&M bargains. being
Is somebody who's playing Pong here now? Which
It's
one of you is playing
Karen
Pong?
deciding that now is a great time to send me. I mean, how many images? She's just sent me another 60 images. So that's what the pong is.
Thanks, Karen.
Oh, she goes again. Now the seriously.
Tony Kaywood pretending he's not heard of it before. He's Googled that. His wife's going to find out on his history. She's going to look up. You read it, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony Kaywood's wife's going to use the PC tomorrow.
Did you ever hear what Adrian done to Tony regarding search history?
No.
Adrian, tell a story.
It's a bit bad. Tony Kaywood's YouTube channel.
My laptop.
He was doing a video on the new Atrex settings, and he did the video and said, "This is how you change this and that." And he sent it to me, and he said, "I'm just uploading it to YouTube." And part of the routers update, you have to type in the IP address. And as Tony typed it in, up came his history. So it's things like BBC iPlayer, Google, and stuff like that. But I thought, wouldn't it be fun if I photoshopped one of his history things in his YouTube video that he hadn't published to say a certain hubsite.com? So I did it, photoshopped it, and sent it to him, said, "Tony, great video, not sure about this though." And I didn't highlight it. I just sent him a screenshot, and he came back and said, "Oh, that's just how you change the frequency, blah, blah, blah." And I said, "No, not that, Tony, something else." And he came back and went, "Oh my God, I didn't see that." And he got up from bed with his wife, went downstairs and deleted the video that took him like 2 hours to upload to YouTube. And then went through at like 11 at night trying to edit it and couldn't find the bit. And then I unfortunately told him that I'd photoshopped it in, saying it was something hub in his history. And the poor bloke was bad. I shouldn't have done it really, but it only took me a couple of minutes. But we had a lot of fun. So yeah, poor old Tony. Yes, so I'm just thinking, Dave, if there's anyone else who's got any questions in the chat about Detectival.
I've got a question to Mark. Mark, obviously, big changes for yourself regarding Detectival, but also Just Detect as well. There's been a big movement with Just Detect.
Yeah, we've sold that as well. So MindLab have taken over Just Detect.
Right, brilliant.
Yeah.
So he's on a lot of stake this year, then, Pete.
Nah.
He's on a lot of stake this year.
Well, see, this is weird. He's made this house that he's now living in Barbados look exactly like the house he was living in Buckinghamshire last year. Weird why they took all the furniture all the way to Barbados, but yeah.
I thought I saw Blackpool Tower in the background. Never mind. Dave's favourite place. So is that going to carry on, Mark, or is it going to sort of evolve?
Yeah. MindLab have some big plans for it. Exactly what? I don't know the ins and outs, but they've got some plans for it. That's also gone to a better home, someone that can grow it and develop it into more than it currently is. You know, so as I said, that they're very excited about it. We're excited about what they can do with it. And the same, I can't wait to see what Pete does with Detectival. I know that he's going to absolutely smash it. It's going to be brilliant.
So this is the first time for a number of years that you and Karen can actually sit down and go,
yeah, pretty much. I mean, we've passed on 2 little babies, if you like, to up for adoption now, and we're quite relieved. To be honest with you, it is a sigh of relief. We've just all at the moment, all we've got to do is worry about the kids, each other, the metal detectives, electric rides, and we've both got a couple of other little projects in there.
Yeah. I know you mentioned to me about you've got some other projects. We're not going to obviously talk about them, but potentially exciting times in that respect as well.
Yeah, it could be brilliant. You know, who knows? It's all a bit of a waiting game, a lot of work involved at the minute, but fingers crossed, it'll all pay off.
I'm just going to have to check the contract now. Make sure you can't do a Detectival in September next year.
He might call it Detectiveville.
Detectiveville, yeah.
He says while copywriting the brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I won't be doing any of that, Pete. I'll help you out, and so will Karen. We've said that we'll help you out in any way that we need to help you out to make sure that you turn it into a massive success, bud. So really looking forward to what you do with it, man.
And like I've said, in return, I'll do you half price ticket.
Oh, thank you so much. Your kindness just astounds me, Mr. Turrell.
Mark, on behalf of Pete, will you marshal?
No, I just want to, if I'm coming, a half price ticket, I won't be able to refuse that offer, really. No, I'm just going to probably mill around and enjoy as much of the entertainment as he's paid for in the main arena as possible and try and tap him up for a few beers at least. Sit by his heater in the evening. I'll get my bloody money's worth, don't you worry.
Yeah, it'll be a bit of a nightmare.
I'll do some protecting as well.
Yeah.
Everyone will want to talk to you though, Mark, won't they? Because like when you're running the event, I've got to go now. Oh, I've got to do this. I've got to do that. Same as Karen.
I won't be doing that.
No, but loads of people, all the people over the years who've wanted to talk to you, but you've been busy, are going to start like flies round. They're going to come round, Mark.
Don't worry, you will never recognise me. I'm going to stick on the place.
That's what I was going to say. You should dress up as a woman or something. Oh no, that's wrong. Again, yeah.
Only on the weekends.
You need to sort of hide yourself. But no, it's gonna. I'm sure it's going to be cracking. It's going to be great. And I think, will you have anything like buggies or anything, Pete? Have you thought about that? Like you did that at Rodney Cook, didn't you?
To ferry people around.
Hmm.
It's something we've thought about. I think the problem with that's going to be scale. There's going to be potentially too many people there for that to be efficient enough to be a benefit to anyone. I think it could.
£65. You're going to have stretch your budget to do that as well, aren't you?
I mean, I'll happily put someone in the back of the Range Rover, but it will cost them a fair amount of money for me to ferry them about. But I'll do it for the right price. It's fine.
Rob Random.
He's got a van. He could take people about.
Yeah. Right. Has anyone got any other questions about Detectival? I think someone said something about a bigger fire pit. Or
do you know
other
how heavy that
pits.
bloody fire pit is?
No,
I heard you moaning about that for about 2 days, actually.
I had to get that in the back of a pickup truck and drive it 300 miles and then get it out of the back of a pickup truck. And that thing weighs a ton. We couldn't lift it up properly unless there was 3 of us to do it. That's a bigger fire. Someone wants a big fire pit. Talk to Pete, because seriously, that's just a mission.
Pete, can we have a number of small fire pits?
Is that because Scotty B put more fire pits, so we could get him like a little one. Like a couple of
just get him a little one of them tea light candles.
Yeah, just a match.
Wait, he's so bloody short. They should be fine. 4 of those, and he'll feel like he's next to a raging inferno, wouldn't he?
Oh, can we use electric scooters to get the fields first? Lol. Yes, if you buy them off electric rides.
Yeah.
You could have yours. Yeah. How's that going, Mark? Because they're everywhere at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, but business is picking up as soon as this poxy law changes in hopefully November. I think that's going to be it. I'll be able to employ someone to sit in the shop, so I won't have to do so much running around.
And
then build an extra wing on your house in Barbados.
Well, yeah,
Blackpool.
Might have to.
If I was just about to say, if I'm a detectorist, I am. Well, sometimes. if I want to buy a scooter that can get me across sort of fairly not ploughed fields but flat, in sort of November, it's going to need knobbly tyres and stuff and enough to get me around a day. How much am I roughly looking at for a sort of low to mid-range scooter to get me around the fields?
A half decent. I mean, at the end of the day, you get what you pay for, and if you want something that gets you across the fields, are you sending me more pictures again? She bloody is, and all bling. Then you're going to look at starting at around.
What type of pictures they are, Mark?
Yeah, right. I should be so lucky. I don't think she's ever sent me a picture like that. Anyway, looking at from £1,200 up to about 3,000.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And that'll fit in the boot of your car.
Fit in the boot of your car, and the £3,000 ones would get you across a field at about 85, 90 miles an hour.
You're joking.
No, they
Really?
do. I mean, the fastest one we got does just under 100 with someone my size and weight on it.
What about my size and weight?
You're probably
12.
looking at more like 50.
On each leg.
I think some of them actually have a weight limit, Dave. You may exceed it.
What do you mean? It's nothing off me. I'm dead felt like Pete, I am.
I would like.
Chalk and cheese, you two.
Yeah.
Laurel and Hardy.
Stan and Ollie. But in all honesty, have you sold some to people in the hobby?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're cracking little things to have, aren't they, on the field?
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, man.
And how many hours would you get out of that? Like 1,500 quid one?
Oh, a 1,500 quid one has got a range on it of about 55 to 60 miles.
Wow. Electric
So,
Go to work and bike on that.
Depending on how far you're travelling around the fields, they last quite a while.
Adrian, get one for work.
We've got them round here. The council, they're everywhere. Is it Tilda, Mark, or Tia? Tilda's a rice.
Tilda's
We've
rice,
got
mate.
Tia. And everyone uses them to go to the pub and come home and stuff like that. Everyone uses them.
Same around here. We've had the trial ones for quite a while, but a lot of the trials are now ending with a view that the law is changing earliest November, latest April. So soon you should be able to fly around on the streets if you abide by the law, depending on what that law will exactly be.
Will they be restricted on speed, like 20 mile an hour or something?
I reckon they'll all be restricted to the current speed of most of the trial ones, which is 15.5 miles an hour.
Right.
And I guess you need insurance and
a number plate and indicators and brake lights and all sorts of malarkey.
Yeah. No, I like them.
Pete,
Yeah, they're very cool.
It's nearing that time of the year. It's nearing Christmas. What are you gearing up for this year? Are we looking at anything special on from LP? Anything that you can disclose at this point?
There's going to be lots coming. It's been this week's job, not for me, but for
Ash.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've got plenty lined up. Can't disclose too much in case our wonderful and respected competition are watching. So we can't say too much, but yeah, no, we've got stuff planned.
And when do you start cascading that out?
During November at some point. I mean, it's no secret Black Friday exists now. I think that's well embedded in the UK. So yeah, towards the end of November, things will be happening.
Fantastic.
And there might be some bits happening a little bit earlier than that, but yeah, you'll find out more as that time comes.
We have to ask the question, Pete. We have to get the information out there ready for people for you.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be different this year, though, with people, the whole financial thing? Because obviously a lot of people are struggling. Funny enough, when I was on holiday the other week in Cyprus, my card got blocked the first day because they thought I was some sort of criminal stolen it. And it took me 55 minutes on hold to the bank to get through. And I said, "What? That's ridiculous." And they said, "Yeah, really, really sorry. Because of the current financial climate, we're currently inundated with calls. So it is getting worse. It is getting a lot worse." Do you sort of envisage that it might be a bit more harder this year to sort of offer people incentives?
It's difficult, Adrian, if I'm being really honest. It's difficult as a business to go and know how it's going to go. I think detecting, it's a different hobby to a lot of hobbies out there. So I suppose a lot of people in detecting, they fish, they shoot, they detect. I think detecting's the one that's in the past has always almost been recession proof because people want an escape from the horrible stuff that they're having to deal with, the financial issues. And out of all those hobbies, detecting is the one where actually you're probably going to pay for the investment at some point. Eventually, depends how much you spend on your equipment, how often you detect, obviously. But
unless you're me.
yeah, but you don't detect, Dave. That's the problem. Like me, we don't get out enough. But I think detecting is a little bit of an easier purchase because there is that possibility that you could recoup that cost at some point. So detecting kind of rides out these recessions a little better than other hobbies, but it's difficult out there, and the value of the pound is causing us issues at the minute. There's been, well, it's no secret that Noctur and therefore us as a distributor have put our prices up this month after the pound dropped. It was impossible to sell the product where it was with the cost of it coming into the country. Garrett have had to do the same because we both buy in US dollars. So it's difficult out there. People's income is reducing and the costs are going up. So it's difficult. I don't know how it's going to play out. It's okay for me as a business owner, but also for everyone else out there, it's tricky. It's hard.
It's cheaper than fishing though and shooting at the end of the day.
It is because you buy your equipment, and yeah, okay, we've got things like Detectival that cost money, but it's quite possible you could knock on a farmer's door and get some free permission and not have that cost. And yeah, it's a nice day out.
Yeah, that'd be interesting this time. Oh, Mark's got
Where can you go? Where can you go fishing with 1,000 other people at the same time and have a great laugh?
Very, very big lake.
And without a bar. Yeah, they've got bars or bit fire pits that Mark has to drive 300 miles to get there. Mark, did you really drive 300 miles with that fire pit?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. I'm going to start making fire pits.
Well,
lightweight ones.
After he took it home, he bought it down to me. I don't know why he bought it to me. I didn't want it.
I was dropping it off after I'd been to... Actual fact, that fire pit travelled more than 300 miles if you include going... You had forgotten about that bit. But we had the option of buying our own one, but at 1,800 quid for that big fire pit, it was like, no, we will just hire it.
Well, it's also what you do with it the rest of the year.
Exactly.
Make a nice water feature in your fields, Pete.
Cauldron.
Somewhere for the birds to bathe.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Is it? Yeah. That's a lot of money, isn't it? 1,800 quid.
Yeah. There's a lot of metal involved in it because it's really, really heavy.
Is it?
You haven't said, mate. You haven't
it's
said.
heavy metal.
We should have got a wooden one.
Much better idea, or one made of plastic, maybe.
Yeah.
So much lighter.
Lightweight one.
Yeah.
Plastic. No, you don't. It's like you were saying earlier, Pete. There's so many things that come up. Something like that, you just think, oh yeah, we'll get a fire pit. Then there's hardly firepit.com, is there, and stuff. It's little things like that people don't realise, do they? So many little things.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's not the little things that are bothering me. It's the big things that you forget about until you start thinking, because you have to put your mindset. And Mark would have done this with Karen years ago, and we put the events on, but Detectival's a different beast. So you almost do like a customer walkthrough. When they arrive, where do they go? And you just think of all the things that you interact with in a Detectival that needs to be hired, bought, arranged. There's a lot to it.
Yeah, it takes one not to turn up. Toilets, for example. It could ruin the whole thing, couldn't it? Or
but
Richard Lincoln.
That we're looking for, Adrian. Thank you very much.
No, it is. I think, like Mark and Karen, people don't realise in the past years. I mean, we only see all the good bits, and all right, you got the negativity, people moaning on Facebook because the ground was wet or the grass was too long. But you don't see, and we never will hear or see everything that you and Karen have had to deal with, Mark. I mean, there must have been some years where you've just thought it's not going to happen, or why the hell are we doing this? Or, do you know what I mean?
Why I'm here, Adrian. Why I'm here.
Spring last year was one of the closest calls, I think, for us, because at the last minute, somebody decided they were going to stir up a hornet's nest, and literally the day before and the day of the event, I had to deal with Natural England, English Heritage, Buckinghamshire County Council, and a host of other people to make sure that the event went ahead. And I've never been as stressed as I was at that Detectival, having to deal with all of these suited, booted people from English Heritage and Natural England and everything coming down with maps and going, oh, you're doing this and you're doing that. And we've been told you're digging here and doing complete and utter nightmare with all of those in the estate. Yeah. But I mean, perseverance and professionalism every time has managed to pull it off. And Pete has that in droves, so he ain't got no worries.
No, yeah. I think Gary Cook's had a bit of that this week, hasn't he? He's had a lot of keyboard warriors and people doing things. So
it always is, man. But what I've learned over the years is I got skinned like a freaking rhino now. Just doesn't bother me. People can think they like me, and I just don't bloody give a damn anymore because me and Karen have worked really hard over the last 7 years, and these events like Detectivals are pretty much a year in the making. You know, from Pete's going to find out, he's probably already going through it. Like, you've got everything to think about. He's lucky. He's got a great team at LP that will obviously help him and throw ideas.
I think he's going to have he's going to have a full beard this time next year.
You won't recognise him.
No, exactly. It could be good. I'm looking forward to the challenge, if nothing else. I like a project. So, yeah.
Well, looking at the comments in the chat, a lot of people are over the moon about it, and exceptionally on the price reduction as well. So everyone
seems
very happy.
A lot of people. I've actually had 2 inbox messages about the inclusion of the family orientated stuff as well. And one of them, I know he brought his 2 daughters with him, and obviously there's not much for them to do. Go back to the watch your bloody downloaded films on your tablet. So he's over the moon that he can come next year, and there'll be something for the kids, hopefully. So that's brilliant.
Yeah. Well, the plan is once we get the website up and running in November, hopefully, we'll start putting stuff on as it's arranged. So people can see what's planned.
Fantastic.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Excellent.
Well, listen, both. It's been marvellous having you on the show again, seeing you both, learning all about everything that's going on. It's very, very exciting, and we appreciate you telling everybody via the show as well. And I'm sure the viewers appreciate it as well.
It's all good. It's been nice to be on again, Dave. It's been a while.
It has. And you know, you both, well, Mark's got nothing to do. He doesn't need to come on anymore, does he?
He's happy. He's happy. Look, happy raving.
He'll have to come on and sort of discuss metal detective stuff instead now.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find something to talk about in the future.
I'm sure there might be something to talk about.
There might be. TikTok. We talk about TikTok.
Do you want to plug your TikTok channel again, Mark? Because I recommend it if anyone wants to listen.
You've just done all the plugging for me, you know.
No,
but if anybody out there likes a bit of really sort of like liquid, intelligent drum and bass, then find me on TikTok, Mark Chaos. Come and listen to the lives.
Pete, what just happened then, Pete?
Adrian got me to plug my TikTok.
Liquid drum and what?
Liquid
drum and bass.
And beers or something. I don't know.
It's not Celine Dion. Not Celine Dion.
Obviously too intelligent for you, liquid drum and bass, David.
I'm not cool enough, obviously.
Celine Dion. That's all he likes. Sorry.
Hold on a minute, Adrian. Because if you're going to start doing that, I'm just going to start doing this. So I won that round because I'm in control.
What is that picture? Is that my profile?
There are several other pictures as well, you know. You do realise.
I know there's lots of pictures of me. Yeah, I know there's lots of pictures. I know there's lots. Yeah. But that's when I'm worn out from detecting for the day. That's why I'm just dehydrated. But no, thanks both for coming on tonight. Really appreciate it. And like Dave said, sharing the great news, because it's nice to have a bit of positivity towards the end of the year when it's all getting doom and gloom, and something to look forward to next year.
And the positivity of Mark and Karen's raising 11 grand for the sports charity as well.
Yeah, big well done on that. And a lot of people were commenting in the chat on that as well. Because at the end of the day,
couldn't have done it without the support of Nocta, mainly for their contribution towards it, and then all the other manufacturers and the traders as well that give prizes for not only the charity raffle but the token hunt and everything as well. LP, you know, without their support, we would never have raised that amount of money.
No,
and obviously everybody that took part in the raffle, of course, because if nobody had booked it, we definitely wouldn't have raised any money. We just had a big pile of metal detectors sitting at home.
I think this might be the first year I didn't win anything in the raffle at yours or Rod and Kurt. Usually I win something, nothing this year.
And this weekend, hopefully, the PDF copies, Adrian just has to make a fine adjustment for the PDF version. The Detectival edition of the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine and the Rodney Cook version of the magazine will be going out on the Archaeology and the Metal Detecting magazine website. So Adrian just has to fine tune something for us, and then we're all groovy, ready to go.
Brilliant.
Super duper stuff. Excellent. Well, thank you very much, and thank you everyone for watching, Dave.
Yes.
Nice evening.
Before we go, I'll just put the banner at the bottom of the screen again. Please sign up for the Big Detecting Show newsletter. Go to bigdetectingshow.com, and all you do is sign up all your information, your email, what machine you use, etc., etc. Sign up, and in the next week or two, we're going to start sending out newsletters. You'll get a prompt to tell you when the show's on. Guest information. We do have some special offers coming your way from Peaky Finders, first of all. Luke sorted out a special offer via Peaky Finders. Hopefully, there'll be more to come from other suppliers and manufacturers. Pete.
Dave, I was just going to say, Dave, so I see free competitions.
Yeah.
You can fire in £100 LP voucher for having us on tonight. So,
well, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Wow. Top man.
£100, you tight git.
So if you... Mark's putting in two. So
thanks, Pete.
If you want the opportunity to win, and the competition will only be available via our mailing list, sign up via there. You've got the opportunity to win that. Adrian's also got some socks.
No.
the Manticore.
Well, that's...
I've got some Manticore ones.
I've got those as well. I've got two of them. Got two of them as well.
What, 2 socks or 2 pairs?
2 socks.
Okay.
One for each foot. But yeah, we got some silly gifts, but we're going to have books and other things in there to give away all for free, but only if you subscribe through the website, bigdetectingshow.com. That's it, Dave.
So sign on up. We've got a load already, and as I say, the initial newsletter is going to be going out in a couple of weeks, and then hopefully after that we'll be looking at a newsletter on a monthly basis, as well as up-to-date news from things that we think that you might want or need to know as well. Mark's dead bored and wants to go to bed now.
He's got no trousers on. He's cold.
Karen's ironing them.
No. Thanks,
Thank
Pete.
you both kindly, and we will see you all next week. We've got Digger Dawn coming on the show next week. She's going to be discussing all the palaver that she had with her YouTube channel getting stolen, everything else that she's been up to, and Maxie getting stolen as well, a metal detector. So she's got all sorts of palaver to tell us about. So we will see you all at the same time and the same place next week. And instead of going out with the normal one, I'll put Pete's advert on.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy
Bye,
holidays.
Karen.
Bye, Karen.